Hello, I'm Carolyn Herbert from the Finance News Network, and joining me from upcoming listing the India Fund is Executive Chairman John Pereira. John, welcome to FNN.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
John, can you start by giving us an introduction to the India Fund?
Well, India Fund is a unique listed investment company to be listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. It focuses predominantly on large cap investing in Indian securities on the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. So it's a very exciting opportunity for investors to get exposure to the fastest growing economy in the world.
Thanks. And can you tell us about the size of the IPO?
Now the IPO is we're targeting 50 million, and we have a minimum of 16, and we're well underway.
And what's the expected listing date?
Now the listing date we've got is roughly in mid-July, so it's about 6 weeks from today.
John, can you tell us a bit more about the terms of the offer?
So the terms of offer are very simple. We have a $1 share, and attaching to that share we have a free option which is listed from day one, which produces a value for the shareholder.
Thanks. And can you tell us a little bit more about the Indian equities market?
Well, listen, the Indian market is a very exciting market, and it is not necessarily different from Australia. But let me give you the composition. So predominantly, what is very similar to Australia is financial services. Now, 24% of the CNX 500, which is the benchmark, is made up of financial services. Now, India is a country that is exploding in terms of financial services. So the new opportunities that we have are motor car leasing, credit cards, all those types of facilities.
And what about the portfolio manager? Can you tell us a bit about them?
The portfolio manager is Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Kotak is the fourth largest private bank in India with a long-term track record of managing Indian equities for foreign investors. One of the interesting things about Kotak is that it's previously had a joint venture with Goldman Sachs, and it has a long history of joint ventures with international companies. So it's here in Australia joint venturing with TriStar Capital, which is a company that I run, and together we are offering this investment to Australian investors.
Very good. So when will the offer open, and where can people get a copy of the prospectus?
The offer will open shortly in about 2 to 3 weeks' time, and the prospectus will be available on www.indiafund.com.au.
And finally, John, what's the consensus outlook for the Indian market for the next 12 months?
Well, globally, investment managers are looking at India to invest in. Why? Because INF have projected a 7.5% GDP growth in India next year, and the trajectory for that growth is long term. So with the Modi government coming into power 18 months ago, structural change has contributed significantly to that GDP growth, and we look forward to that continuing in the long term.
John Pereira, thanks for the introduction and good luck with the IPO.
Thank you very much for having me.